Well, you heard what I had to say. Let's bring in Tammy Bruce, Independent Women's Voice president and a Fox News contributor.
Hey, good morning.
Get that. Yes, good morning. I don't see any honor in the negotiating or non-negotiating position of Pelosi and Schumer.
Yeah, exactly. With the Chinese, now how they behave after the negotiations, of course, is not, they don't operate honorably, but they're actually negotiating, as you've noted. There's an interest in governing, in making something work. Now, at the same time, even though it does take two to negotiate, the president continues to do so. Every action he's taken, including arguing about a national emergency and what he has the power to do, is sending signals to the other side, because they will lose in that regard. If they negotiate, they can actually get something, like for the Dreamers.
Exactly.
Something that's interesting to them, that's important. But what they're proving is they don't have an interest in governing. All of what they've said is important to them has been a fraud. Otherwise, they would engage in making this work.
It's pure
and they're
politics.
choosing not to.
They think they can win politically by taking this stand, no wall at all. They think that's a political winner. Do you think that's a miscalculation?
It is. And the problem is that look that they had that night when they wanted to contradict his address from the Oval Office was because they've never really had to negotiate before. This is a president who means business. Before we have the uniparty, like in Congress, where everybody pretty much knew what the end result would be, and that nothing would really happen in the end, no matter what they promised or negotiated on. With President Trump, he's his own entity. He's serious. He represents the American people in a serious way. That's why I think they look kind of shell-shocked, because they knew something was going to happen, and they didn't quite know how to counteract it.
I think this total refusal to negotiate has pushed the president to the point where he has to declare an emergency on the border.
It's because there is an emergency on the border. Normally, the president would be able to work with Congress to solve that problem. When you've got a congressional leaders who are refusing to assist in that regard, this is why the president has that power. In the event something is occurring that needs to be addressed in that fashion, and when the other side is not going to negotiate with you. On one hand, the president cares about the country, of course, wants to find a solution. On the other hand, the other side is just looking for what they think is going to get them power politically with their base or with the media. And that's, of course, the American people can make a determination about what's going to best suit their interests.
Look, it's been confirmed that there is another caravan, a really big caravan, being assembled next week, and it's going to make its way to the border. What would Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, what are they going to do when that caravan arrives? What would they do?
Well, they'll be doing nothing. And this is why having a man of action in the White House is so key. And that's just part of the emergency. A few weeks ago, Democrats, all of us, were very upset about 2 children dying. People were leaving their homes ill with long-term diseases, hepatitis, the flu, tuberculosis, HIV. These are not diseases that develop overnight, because now you've got California saying, and before, of course, they'd also already had implemented it, inviting people saying, we're going to give you free health care if you get here and you're sick. So this is an emergency for the people in South and Central America, so that they do take care of themselves, don't put themselves at risk coming to a border that they're not going to be able to get across.
This problem is actually created, I think, by the sanctuary state of California, which has invited more people to come. And now they're going to complain because the president might take some wildfire damage money away from them and use it to build the wall.
Well, look, when you've got, and even got this new Governor Newsom, re-telegraphed, if you're ill and you're undocumented, we will take care of you. That's not a coincidence that New York and California did that at the same time during this fight. It is an invitation. In the long run, if Californians are concerned about themselves and their families and the California budget, this, in fact, will be better for California to deal with the crisis at the border, in addition to, of course, the money that's already there dealing with the fire damage. But in the long run, my goodness, what do they expect? The new governor has invited the unwell world to come and park in California. That's dangerous for those who are already ill and for Californians as well. And the president, of course, has got all of this on his plate. His action will have at least a beneficial effect in mitigating all of those negatives for everyone involved.
Tammy Bruce, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, sir.
Good Friday to you.